Have you ever wanted a PvP game that's like Demon Souls and Bloodborne having a baby? Except this baby was dropped on its head a couple of times? Because then Lords of the Fallen is the very perfect game for you. How's it going, everyone? Today we're going to be going over some of the very first impressions of PvP in Lords of the Fallen on top of the PvP covenant called Shrine of Adyr, and how exactly it works. But before we get into that video, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any future content related to Lords of the Fallen. So first, before we get into the very first impressions of Lord of the Fallen, let's go over the whole PvP system with the Shrine of Adyr Covenant. I know it's not a covenant like in Dark Souls games, but you don't really join them and all. In my opinion, it's still going to be called a covenant. Anyways, I don't want to spoil too much about how you actually get here and ruin people's games, but it's kind of out of the way. So for this, you're gonna want to come to this boss fight area here on the bridge, and then after you beat them, you will actually see a door here and the umbral itself that will block your way. Clear that, and then you will be able to just follow this way down to the Shrine of Adyr. But once you get here, you'll take in this beautiful bloody scenery and see a half-naked man sitting on a throne, and this man is who you want to talk to for the PvP items. When you first meet him, he will actually tell you all about Adyr and whatnot, but once you're done talking to him, you can click on the purchase and look through wares to exchange for the severed hands, which you get by defeating players in PvP. As you can see here, there are 3 tiers, each having different rewards, and a bar down at the bottom building up to unlock each tier by donating severed hands. But weirdly enough, this bar actually isn't to build up by you specifically, but the community as a whole, meaning you actually don't even need to donate anything for this. Other players will donate and build this up over time, and you'll be able to spend your hands on the items and not waste any of them helping level up the Covenant. You're a little toxic for that, but at the same time, it's your severed hand, so do whatever you want with them. So if you're seeing this video in the future, this may already be maxed out, so you don't have to worry about all of this. You just need to change in your hands and get your rewards, which is interesting, and I hope they add more tiers later because this is already day 2 as we're recording this, and look how far along it already is. I know it may not look like much, but for 2 days, it's kind of impressive. So in like a month or so, it's already going to be maxed out, and we're already going to be having all of our rewards, so we'll have to wait and see what the devs do if they want to add more rewards. Let's hope so. Anyways, let's get into a few hours of PvPing. And I gotta say, this PvP system has some flaws, along with a huge connection issue, but man, the potential is definitely there. They just gotta work out some of the kinks, you know? And so, of course, the biggest thing everyone is talking about is definitely the connection issues. When you invade someone, the connection is player to player, going off of the host connection. So if that host is across the world from you, then it's just going to be rubber banding mess that you won't even be able to allow to play hardly. They're just going to beef on you basically. But on the host screen, it's actually pretty much fine. They see you just standing in place while they wail on you as you're just rubber banding back into the same spot infinitely. It is not a fun sight. So of course they definitely need to fix that. Probably by just making it so matchmaking you with players with the lower ping first, or having matchmaking regions to avoid this entirely, which is obviously going to be the best for games like these because you don't have a server-based system. If it's player to player, you can't be matchmaking with someone 2,000 miles away from you because then that's just going to be ass for everyone. Okay, as for the PvP itself with the normal non-laggy or at least less laggy fights, first off man, it can be clean. The combat is somewhat basic at first glance, but has a lot of mix-up potential to bait your opponent. It's kind of similar to Demon Souls PvP where it's kind of slow and easy to read attacks, but whenever it comes to it, you can buff out a charge attack, have that long wind up for special attacks, and it's so good to be able to throw your opponent off if they're just trying to parry spam. And going into that, one of the problems with PvP is the parrying is very easy. Some players will just sit there waiting for you to swing, and will do literally nothing else but parry spam, because the windups are easy to read and they're very basic, you know? So that is actually kind of fine, because then that comes to the heavy attacks. These ones you're able to actually charge up and throw off your opponent's timing. So if they're just going to be parry spamming, you can then lead into a charge to bait the parry and either hit them through their failure or at least smack them in their shield, taking some chip damage. Or even using your special attack, which is the attack you do whenever you hit your block button and your heavy attack button at the same exact time. A lot of the weapons actually have this slow wind-up attack that hits like a truck to throw off enemies even further if they're starting to catch on to your heavy attack charge-up timing. So, the mix-up potential in this game is pretty clearly good. Overall, the potential to this game is absolutely huge. I think once the connection issues actually get fixed and we truly can see the full potential of the PvP, I truly think it can be up there competing with the previous Souls games PvP. But at the same time, first impressions are everything in games. Now, as we've seen time and time again, where a game flops on release and then no one ever plays it again, even if it's improved over the time. We just really have to hope that the devs don't take too long to fix these issues, or else we may not see much of this game. At least whenever it comes to PvP, because the gameplay itself, super smooth, very fun, a beautiful game. Whenever it comes to PvE wise, this game is definitely not going anywhere. This is an immaculate game. Let me reiterate that, you know? It's only going to be for PvP for the time being that maybe people may, you know, squander away from that. What's funny is that I feel like this could have been avoided if they just did some network tests with their community. Releasing it as is, just assuming everything would work, was a little more than bold move, but we'll see. Maybe this was all just a, you know, little fluke. Maybe they'll have it fixed in the next day. But yeah, once again, overall, I think the PvP potential is definitely there. I think they have a good base for the game, and I can't wait for the future of this PvP. I haven't done much with the magic yet. It seems like a few of the spells can be really good, but a lot of the normal range ones, super easy to avoid, so we'll see as we go on, because I'm still only like level 60, I think, so we got a time to see how actual endgame PvP does with spells and magic. But anyways, that's going to do it for me, everyone. Let me know what you guys thought about the PvP of Lords of the Fallen. Have you gotten some normal connection fights, and do you think it is potentially to be good? Or have you already written it off as just kind of meh, it's mid? But I'm heading out now, everyone, so enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of these clips, and have a good one. Peace.
Glorious. You.
Gods. That's all you people talk about. Always this, here that. You have no vision, no ambition. Just so desperate.